that's fine. We'll fight into you because we got what we wanted. And remember as well, Dragonite has not been chosen at all, and it looks like they're going to be saving it in their back pocket for Team True Gravity. Now the thing is, kabichans can also play that Dragonite. It's been a very popular choice in Japan. But let's jump into this game here, folks. Game 1 of the grand final against kabichans and True Gravity. Who's going to be taking this first game, and are we possibly looking at a reset?
This is really hard to tell, and and that is a question that I even am finding it really hard to decide. Both teams has so much potential, so much strength, but of course, look at it, a very instant dive trying to secure as many of these fruits. We'll try to eject by the out to safety, but will not find a chance. But guess what? This Torchic, literally, although yes, Torchic going to the central area is prime target for some invasion, but they're not really cutting around because they also have a couple of Pokemon they really want to try to get focus and prioritize those EXP. None can really find the time to really spare to really try to go for the invasion. Just in case, allow this Grotto to really get bullied out the lane. They need to contest for that EXP and levels.
I do like the choice for Icy Wind here on this Glaceon as well.
Yes.
You're going to have some movement around this Crystal as well as that Blaziken if you do get dove upon. So very safe choice here on the side of True Gravity. Lanes so far are not looking too bad for either side. Not really looking at any lane crushers yet because Blaziken still not fully online. Vitopo's just trying to get up to that Blaziken before he's going to go absolutely ham. But I hope True Gravity are aware of this, that this is how kabichans like to play. They can be a little bit passive in those lanes, but once Vitopo is ready to go, I hope your central laner is ready to match him. Now, his matchup is going to be up against that Glaceon, and he might actually be, might be a really good way to keep this Blaziken in check, because teams that have gone up against Kabichan up until now, game number 1, we haven't seen anyone comfortably be able to deal with that Blaziken. We haven't seen any central area invades. We haven't seen this Pokemon dominated. Let's see if the solution is here for True Gravity.
But look at the levels, Danelli. Like, we're talking about like just the central area, the only one level 7, whereas the bottom part, the central area, are already matching in such a high level stakes here. Both level 7s here, while the rest of the team are trying to find a way to catch things up. Duck, not to worry, still 1 level away before he gets to that Blastoise as well. And then Ivysaur really slowed down here. But I guess, you know, that's what happens when you're going up against a Water. So one of the best Water Gun, one of the best secure moves on those wild Pokemons here. Sure, Razor Leaf is pretty great, but with all this rotation coming in from the Glaceon here, he didn't really aim to find that opportunity. But then again, was able to get a nice on top of the Vitopo here, and even forced out the eject, but a defensive one, but also pressure them enough with the Rock Tomb alone.
Perfect timing there from Tomato, possibly saving his teammate there for Topo. He is going to be pressured by Zeshol a little bit by that Sylveon. Just going to chip him away. No full commitment. It's just a Sylveon. But that's already one movement coming up from Kabichans just being denied. But also for True Gravity, if they got that KO, I think that actually would have been the momentum that they're looking for. Remember, True Gravity, they are popping off on momentum today after all of these wins. Objective-wise though, Kabichans, they've got their eyes set on getting the experience. They have that Regirock buff, so they're going to have that for at least this part of the game. But up top though, there is a fight for that Regieleki, and this is where True Gravity is going to fully commit for this objective. They're pushing away this Venusaur and Blissey. The team is still in that bottom lane, but if they can get the steal here by Kata, that would be fantastic. But no, it's actually going to be the Clefable to get that final hit on the Regieleki.
Yeah, it's relatively challenging as well, right? You're going up against both the Blastoise and the Glacier. Basically 3 versus 2 for that Regieleki. If they manage to get it, of course, that will be a very massive bonuses. But even if they don't, not really a lot of loss to them, because their goal is just to get those levels. Keep up with the race. They're all late. They're really great scaling Pokemon. Just try to get as much level as possible before you get to the Rayquaza. Look at it. We're already 5 minutes in, and Blaziken and then Talon is already level 10.
I have to say, this is probably the slowest we've actually seen Kabichans play in their series thus far. We're so used to seeing them diving on top of their opponents, but they're playing defense this game. They're trying to make sure that True Gravity, their rotations are effectively blocked. But the same thing's happening here for Kabichans, right? They're focusing on their macro, trying to get this experience and hoping to get into this late game. If they find an opening though, surely Kabichans will try to make that play happen. But at the same time, they can't afford to make those mistakes. They're going up against a lineup that will be really deadly, especially once Rayquaza hits that field.
The thing is, I totally understand why they're not really engaging as much as possible, because you are still going to be fighting into both the Clefable and the Hydro Type for a very massive team 2-fight Unite move control ability as well, which can be quite disruptive, especially for an all-rounder like Blaziken who doesn't really like to be disrupted. A Hydro Typhoon into a Gravity, even the Blaziken was going to have a really hard time, but at the same time, leveling is a little bit of a priority here because it's all about the scaling, right? It's really all about the blow up. Like you said, do not want to take any chances here, don't want to take any necessary risks unless an opportunity does arise. A little bit of orbital extension maybe, or desperation, but I don't think we're going to be seeing that kind of desperation just yet until that Rayquaza bit. Still got a couple of more minutes left to go, but look at this. Blaziken is just one of those few all-rounders falling into the similar category where handling objectives like Reggie's is 25%, but nice catch to secure the Reggie-Roll, and that bonus buff actually is elevating some of the team members to the top buff to give them the necessary durability as they gear for this couple skirmish.
This was a 4v4 as well, as we are looking at two Pokemon in that bottom lane, and without the Clefable, you've run out of sustain here for True Gravity. Now keep in mind it's two defenders and the Glaceon. Let's see if they're going to be able to pull anything off here. They do surf into the majority of kabichans, but the last hit for the Regieleki, who's going to be able to get it? It's a Blissey of all Pokemon! And now it's going to be kabichans turning onto True Gravity. 3 Pokemon knocked out. They've got 2 more. The Snapshot connecting onto that Sylveon. This Regieleki will go into that goal zone, and we've got some free points being scored by kabichans. It's just Vulcan left.
Oh, it's so much damage. Now finally kabichans grouping up as a group of 5 here. Just insane amount of damage. Sure, you got the Hydro Typhoon, sure, you got the Moonlight, but you cannot withstand against that kind of damage. Rock Tomb into the Verdant Angle. Nice timing to try to force the Blaziken back, but that's not really going to be stopping out there for Vitopo, isn't it? Not enough follow-up or not enough control here.
The efficiency for those goal scores as well. kabichans are taking this game 100% serious. They're not falling for that trap that a lot of other teams competing today did. So we are at the 3-minute mark here, folks. 1 more minute to go before Rayquaza hits that field. So these teams are going to try and get as much experience as possible. And if you're kabichans, you're going to want to try to force out some premature Unite moves here. We do see Vitopo being caught there by the Surf, but it's just the Blastoise and a Clefable. There's not really too much threat here for that Blaziken. Glaceon, though, will be making that appearance and going to be doing a little bit there to the Blissey. Not so much to threaten the Blissey's knockout, but it's a race here for this experience. I have to say, the invades coming out from kabichans really trying to starve out True Gravity.
Look at that, they even drew like a, I guess you could say like a very virtual line across the central area. Right? They're like, you can't cross this line. This is our territory. This is ours for the taking here. 20 seconds before the Rayquaza spawns in as well. But remember, kabichan is in full control, not in terms of score, not just in terms of AOS energy score, levels, but also positioning-wise. Trying to get as much intel as much as possible, but also not too far with the goalpost to really try to defend it and try to defend against backcappers.
Yep, so very big level gap between these two teams. We're looking at 2 level 13s on the side of kabichans and just the Glaceon for True Gravity. So with only 70 points in their pockets, it's up to True Gravity to somehow figure out if they can get these back caps in, if they're maybe going to be able to just go for a Rayquaza rip. We're seeing kabichans spread out at the moment, trying to guard for any back caps, but they are closing in on to the Indians. And there's an immediate knockout onto the Blaziken. Vitopo falling into that trap, and look at this, they've actually managed to catch Tomato and the support in a small choke point, but Duck, he's gone in deep. He's already used his Unite move. There's not going to be no more Blastoise. 4v4, the fight continues though. This Sylveon barely surviving, just able to dash on out of there. And so far, Kokoda, he's trying to hang in there for his team. We do see the Inteleon extremely low. He's going to have to try and recoup with this support if necessary, but Kakata, he's keeping Melon at bay. Glaceon's going to have to go for that reset. And True Gravity, this game isn't over yet.
Of course, but a couple of more points being dunked in on the top side as well. And it will be enough to actually excel across them now. They want to try to secure the Rayquaza, and of course they will. With the Unite move still in the hands of Vitopo, he's going to be an absolute brawl. There's nothing that can really slow him down. There's no Slow Beam, there's no Hydro Typhoon.
They need the shields.
They're currently at the mercy of members of Team Kabichan as they make their way with the Rayquaza shields and the points. Guess what? You may have a slight lead initially, but we will bounce back in a very significant manner.
Oh, what quick thinking coming in from kabichans. Yes, they saw the slow road coming in with the 80-point back cap, but they said, it's all right. All 5 of us here at the Rayquaza pit, we are certain that we are going to be able to lock this objective down. They take it, they wipe True Gravity, and they lock in Game 1 of the Grand Finals. Kabichans, they're not here to play.
I mean, sure, of course, not for this round, not at this stage of the competition. This is the very series that will determine who is really the strongest in the Asia scene. But let's be honest here, Denali, right? Like, even yes, it was a fantastic catch on Vitopa, right? You really nailed him with the slow beam here, really removed him from the variables here. But what happened afterwards as they were really chasing them down in such...
Which is just 100-0 Pokemon. So the Bliss Assist, the fact that Bliss Assist exists, it is going to be a huge threat to Vitopo in every single fight. But if the Bliss Assist gets whiffed, then that's when Zoro really pops off. It's going to come down to these two teams. Is it going to be a 2-0 grand final here, Leonard? Or are we looking at a Game 3 and a potential reset? Let's find out.
It's so hard to say, right? Because like it feels like the stars are aligning with the composition that Team True Gravity has, right? Boss was great for displacement. You got the Umbreon. It feels like very dangerous territory. It feels like every field, every territory that this Zoro is going to be entering is full of landmines. There's so many ways to displace him, so many ways to control him or interrupt him as well. And talk about the amount of sustain coming from 2 all-rounders. Sure, you can do a lot of damage, you can burst it down, but Bliss Assist can save anyone. But then again, that is the sole weakness about Bliss Assist, right? It is only that Unite mode is more of a targeted skill. So in other words, you can really only save that one person alone. So knowing playing
Trust Vulcan.
Yeah.
Vulcan has popped off today. I trust this man to get the Bliss Assist.
But I also at the same time trust in Coca-Cola to know how to tackle or play around that Bliss Assist. But this game, relatively hard. If you can actually force out some really good meme looks before the actual big fight, I think that can be quite helpful for the frontal, at least confrontation.
Look, I actually think these mean looks are nasty against kabichans because you're running Comfey. It's not a standard support that's going to save you. Comfey only gives you healing on one Pokemon. If that Pokemon gets knocked out, your Comfey gets dropped.
I mean, definitely.
You're going to go down as well.
It's a buy one, free one deal.
It is a buy one, free one deal. So Zoro is going to apply some pressure onto Vulcan on that Blissey and will get the KO in the process. Mean look does connect, but Dragonair is still busy trying to finish up that central area farm and actually is going to get that stolen. Oh no, that's not what you want as that Dragonair, but Vitopo stuck around for a little bit too long with the Buzzwole committing, but no, they did not get Vitopo. The man gets away scot-free. And these are the plays that you want to make happen as that Zoro. Slip in, slip out, force the attention away so that your side lanes are opened up.
Man, this is crazy. Malon, of course, getting ready to rotate around because I think after clearly seeing what's been happening for the past 2 minutes of the round, everyone needs to really group up. Everyone needs to get ready to reinforce to try to get this punish. Don't give enough openings to allow team members or at least to allow the Zoro to really get this engine running. Don't play around his tempo. Don't play around his. Don't play at the palm of his hand. Don't play by his tunes. Try to deny him as much as possible. Just stick together. Just do the necessary amount of damage. Great reinforcement coming in and great rotation coming in from the Espeon here to try to get this pick up. But then again, nice timing with the Doctor Pursuit. Should keep him alive and away from the rest of the squad.
If Zeshol wasn't there, Vitopo absolutely would have tried to go for the dive there onto Doug. So this Espeon is keeping this Zoro in check as long as he's there. Looks like both of the Reggies are on the field here, folks. So it's going to be time for these teams to go for those big fights. And up top, we are still seeing this here with Vitopo applying a lot of pressure onto Duck. We also have Vulcan sticking around on the goal zone, and here comes that Dragonite. All it takes is one Hyper Beam, but he actually deletes 2 Pokemon, both Duck and Vulcan, and Vitopo gets out scot-free as well. What a play coming out from the Zoroark.
Unbelievable! You're not really keeping him alive by a slimmer of HP, and he still managed to get the pick up on Duck. But
and he gets the Espeon in the top lane as well.
I can't believe it. Just bouncing back and forth. And it's managed to... who's going to be able to secure? Oh no, it's in the hands of the side of Kabichan. So that damage buff is still going to be implemented to the top side towards the hand of Vitopo. This buff is going to be really great to help us secure all this dish out of damage.
Look at that level advantage.
It's massive. It's insane. He's level 10, by the way, and he's still shredding all these players.
This is how you want to play Zoro. You pop off, you get a huge level advantage, and you threaten everybody on the map. The fact that Comfey used the Unite there was able to keep Vitopo topped up and also prevented Dragonite and Buzzwole from even thinking about turning onto him. If you're True Gravity, you got to slow things down a little bit. The fact that they're showing their face of Vitopo as being this relentless, this confident, they need to come back, get those levels. One of the things that you have to worry about with Azora is that his early game might be a menace, but as the game gets later and later, he turns more and more into that glass cannon. And with these really big Pokemon that go into the late game, Dragonite and Buzzwole, they become much more threatening the later the game goes. So they got to slow things down, let Vitopo do his thing, but still at the same time for True Gravity, keep your macro up. Make sure you are tied in levels going into that late game.
Yeah, I mean, of course, first I'd like to apologize. I thought it was Kokoda playing the Zero, but it's actually still in the hands of Vitopo. But anyway, back to the matter of hand. Back and forth. You know who's going to be on top of the lead when it comes to range damage as well. But against Psychic Solaire. But then again, they took each other out at the same time. What a way to go down, but guess what? Without the defender of the first goalpost, more points being dunked in. They're trying to set up the foundation here. And guess what? No Blissey for the Blizzard's support. Damage coming in, fully committed. But the Comfy, another 1-0, keeping Vitopo alive and well. They got out of that situation, not just with the KO. They got the points, they got the goalpost, and on top of that, another KO on their support for an additional bonus. Vitopo on an absolute roll. He's level 12, by the way, Danelli. And we still have 4 minutes into the round. This guy is going to get that level 14 before Rayquaza. And he got another one again.
Yep, he's managed to get Vulcan yet again, and True Gravity, they are being corralled onto their side lanes. They can't even go into the central area and feel safe. Where can they go to get this experience? The fact that they're being choked out in all these wild Pokemon and experience, this is going to prevent True Gravity from finding any way to equalize the game. They are so afraid because of how fast Vitopo is moving in this matchup. And they thought that Umbreon was going to be enough to control him, but unfortunately for Melon, he's just not able to find those openings to catch Vitopo. And in the times that we have seen him get that mean look, the team is just not in position to follow up. And again, Vulcan just going to be absolutely destroyed by Vitopo.
Priority targeting. There is no sign of hesitation coming in from Vitopo. He understands once team members of True Gravity really grouped up in unison as a collective, even he will have a hard time despite this high levels that he has.
These levels, the level
yeah, dude, look, you know all these engagements so far has always been like this 2v3, but great coming with the mean look, was able to get this really beautiful KO on Kokoda as the Sylveon. Now a quick disengagement, but guess what? Objectives are being secured. They can't get a couple of more, they want to try to achieve it, but look who's coming in. The blood is in the water and the Sharks are the Sharpedo is coming in from the backline. Vitopo shows himself with the brush, dives all the way to the backline, has to eject by the out to safety. They play around the defense of the first goal post, but that will do nothing to save you from the claws and the clutches of the shadow Pokemon.
Oh, Vitopo, he's a menace this game, and he doesn't look like he's going to stop anytime soon. Actually going to be running onto the goal zone as he gets staggered. But the thing is, can Vitopo get taken out? It doesn't look like they have enough juice. It's actually the Comfey that actually hops off instead to be the priority target. But wait a minute, True Gravity, they are upset. They want Vitopo, but they can't get him instead. They're going to have to settle with the two supports, the Comfey and the Slowbro.
A salute to both Comfey and Slowbro as each player
fainting for the cause.
Taking, like, literally giving up their lives for this. Absolutely well team coordination.
With how this game is going so far for kabichans, this seems to be the play. If Vitopo is at threat, if he's under
be level
threat,
15.
you have to, whatever it is, the only person that cannot faint is Vitopo. We've hit the late game, folks. It is time. Can True Gravity turn this around and tie this series 1-1, or will it be a 2-0 grand final victory? Vitopo sharking his way around, trying to find Vulcan. He has single-handedly shut down this Blissey every single time, and True Gravity haven't been able to do anything about it. Duck going into that top lane looking to score those 100 points, but look at this though, Vitopo, he's sneaking into True Gravity, trying to find that opening, but the mean look keeping him under wraps. Vulcan, do not show your face.
I thought he saw him for a second there too. A little, maybe about a meter, one step forward, and possibly he might be on the list of the chopping block.
Vitopo.
So elusive.
Oh, I can't breathe. This matchup is insane. Level 15 Zoroark still hunting, looking for his prey, but who is he going to jump on next? He really wants Vulcan. That's the only person that he wants. Maybe the Umbreon. In the meantime, though, we do have a back cap, 96 points, but Vulcan has gone again. This Blissey just doesn't get to play the game. Umbreon even committing the Unite as well, but Topper is left unchecked. It's going to be the Sylveon to finish off Melon here, trying to go for the jukes, but the Hyper Voice finishes him off. Looks like Duck, though, getting a KO himself instead, and the fight continues. Duck has got to buy some time. Throw the Topper around. Do whatever you can. Keep wrestling. Do not go down, but the Buzzball is out of the picture. Now Akul being spotted out by Tomato. I think this man, he is afraid. He's got his Unite. He's actually going to commit it to go towards that central area. He has to somehow meet up with his team. Blissey's coming back into the fray, though. We have a Bliss Assist available, but if you lose the Dragonite, that's all your firepower out of this game. Buy more Dragonite for 30 seconds. We've got 10 seconds to go, Leonard, and kabichans, they're about to do it.
It's coming down.
I think we found our champions for 2024.
It's Team kabichans, ladies and gentlemen, in such a phenomenal manner. Showing the paralysis of Vitopo with the Zoroark in hand. Your grand champion for the Pokemon Unite Asia Champion League 2024 is Team kabichans. What a journey for these guys. Started off new from the regional stage, and look at where they are now. The world sees them. We see them for who they are, and what an amazing team.
That was a phenomenal performance coming out of Vitopo. You thought that man could play Blaziken. He says, have you seen my Zoroark? Brilliant play, but he made so many moves, and he effectively dismantled the entire team of True Gravity. Vulcan just wasn't allowed to play the game. As soon as Vitopo saw him, just back to base.
You know the craziest part about it? There's three craziest things, right? Like I mentioned, early game macro plays decisions will dictate how this game is, right? There is no hesitation. There was no doubt. He got the intel. He saw an opportunity. I don't even think he got the full intel either, right? He just spot 3 people, and he just like, I'm not sure where's the other 2 players, the other 2 team members, but I'm going in. I have the burst, I have the damage. We'll keep hitting them as much as possible. Avoid the team fights, avoid the CCs. And even Vulcan, who was right next to Duck, by the way, right next to the Bustle, all he could do was just watch. He fell so fast, and he just couldn't really do or say anything about it. And what's even